A masked ball glows under a sky of lanterns. A hidden girl steps into the light, and Benedict Bridgerton feels his world shift in a single breath. The tongue will whisper, love will test every rule, and a secret name will choose who he become. Here. The music rises like a promise as candles paint gold across marble floors. The camera sweeps over silk gowns and black coats. Fans snap open, diamonds spark, and every eye hunts for a headline to carry home in the dark. Then the doors part, and a girl enters with grace that hushes the room. A silver mask frames her eyes. Her dress moves like water, and for a moment time forgets to move. We see Benedict at the edge of the crowd, an artist with ink on his soul and restless fire in his chest. He is not looking for a title or a match. He is looking for a feeling that tells the truth. He watches the girl glide past the gossip and the greed, and his breath leaves him like a prayer he did not know he was holding. Strings climb higher, footsteps slow, the floor becomes a stage, and fate writes a line across the distance between them. The voice of the tongue whispers in soft layers. Who is she? Where did she come from? Why does she shine like a star that hides its own name? Lady Whistledown will want answers by morning, but tonight belongs to a question. The girl lifts her chin with quiet courage and a heart that knows the cost of being seen. Somewhere behind her waits a house that holds no love, a stepmother who counts worth in coin instead of kindness, yet here under chandeliers she is only light and will. Benedict moves as if pulled by a tide. Not fast, not slow, simply certain. He does not know the name Sophie. He does not know the story that follows it like a shadow. He only knows that his art has finally found a subject that can look back at him. A waltz begins, gentle at first, then brave. The floor opens, partners turn like planets and the two of them draw closer. The camera catches little truths, a tremble in her hand, a smile he tries to hide, the sense that both are stepping over a line no one else can see. The world narrows to candles and breath and music. Then his hand reaches out, an offer without a title. Her hand answers, a choice without a promise. The first touch is simple and clean, and it changes everything. The room spins around them. The tongue watches for scandal, but what it finds is something rarer. Two souls meeting in plain sight while hiding in masks. Whispers swell again. Is he serious? Is she worthy? What will his mother say? What will the season demand? None of it matters for the length of a dance, because the dance speaks in a language older than rules. He leads with care. She follows with strength. And in that balance we see the storm ahead. A world that loves perfection will soon test them. With truth the last note holds. Silence hovers like a held breath, and we end on their hands still joined. A bond born in light while the night keeps its secrets. The first spark has landed, and the fire is waiting for air. The night fades into whispers as the ball continues, yet Benedict cannot pull his gaze away from the girl who had taken his hand. Her presence lingers even after the music changes, and every step she takes leaves, a trail of wonder he cannot ignore. He searches the crowd again, hoping to catch another glimpse of her silver mask, but the sea of faces hides her like the tide hides shells beneath its waves. In that moment he feels something he has never felt before, a restless urgency, as though destiny has stepped into the room and will vanish if he lets her slip away. Away from the glow of chandeliers, Sophie walks alone through a hallway lined with portraits of people she does not know. Shadows cover her gown, and for a brief moment the grandeur of the ball dissolves into the weight of her reality. She is not a guest of honor, nor a daughter proudly introduced to society. She is an illegitimate child, kept hidden, treated as less, and reminded every day that she does not belong. Yet tonight she dares to step into a world that would never truly welcome her. The mask is her shield, the gown borrowed, the courage entirely her own. Every beat of her heart reminds her that if her stepmother finds out, punishment will follow, yet she cannot turn back. For one night she has tasted freedom. For one dance she has been seen. Benedict wanders away from the ballroom, the music fading behind him, his thoughts burning with questions he cannot silence. Who is she? Why did her eyes hold such quiet sorrow? And why does he feel that her story is one he must know? His hand brushes the canvas of his mind, the way he does before he paints, and he realizes this girl has already become his inspiration. He does not see a stranger in disguise, he sees truth hiding under fear, beauty born not from title or wealth but from strength. For an artist like him, that is the rarest sight of all. The walls of the grand estate echo with faint laughter and clinking glasses, but beneath the surface another kind of story stirs. Lady Whistledown sharpens her quill, her words waiting to pierce reputations by morning. Whispers are traded in corners, noble families weigh alliances, and the rules of the ton hold tighter chains than any prison. Into this world Sophie dares to breathe, knowing her very existence is a secret, and Benedict dares to follow her shadow, knowing that his name, his family, and the world itself will test the fire that has just been lit. The night ends too soon, like all fragile dreams, but the mark has been made. A hand held too briefly, a gaze held too long, and a heart that refuses to forget. As carriages roll away and lanterns dim, Benedict stands at the door, watching the darkness swallow the girl. He does not yet know. He does not hear her name. He does not know her home. But he knows with unshaken certainty that he will find her. Because in a city built on secrets, the most powerful secret is the one the heart refuses to let go. The dawn, after the masked ball, arrives with a cruel clarity. Whispers spread across Mayfair as Lady Whistledown's new sheet floods the hands of the ton. Lines of ink bite sharper than swords, hinting at a mysterious girl who dared to dance with a Bridgerton son. No name is written, no proof is given, yet suspicion becomes a storm. Families begin to speculate, mothers clutch pearls, rivals sharpen their smiles, and the social season feeds on the mystery. For Benedict, it is not rumor that shakes him, it is longing. He sees her in every sketch he draws, every canvas bears the shadow of her mask, and no gossip can steal the truth of what he felt in her touch. But while his heart is restless, Sophie's world grows darker. Her stepmother hears the whispers, too, and quickly ties suspicion to her. Accusations fall like lashes. The borrowed gown is torn away, the mask locked out of reach, and Sophie is reminded with cold words that she is nothing but a servant in her own home. Yet even as her hands scrub floors, her spirit holds the memory of one waltz, a single moment where she was more than the cruelty pressed upon her. That memory becomes her rebellion, quiet but unbreakable. Benedict, blind to her suffering, begins his search. He roams through galleries, gardens, and gatherings, listening for a voice, watching for a face. His friends tease him, believing this chase is a fleeting obsession. But Violet Bridgerton notices the depth in her son's eyes. A mother knows when a heart has shifted, and she warns him with gentle words that the world of titles and inheritance does not forgive such reckless desires. Benedict listens yet does not bend. For the first time, he feels chained not by his family's love but by the rules that smother it. The season presses on with more balls, more suitors, more negotiations that weigh names against fortunes. Every smile hides a bargain, every laugh hides a judgment. Sophie endures it from the shadows, carrying trays and lighting candles, while Benedict endures it in the spotlight, asked to choose brides who glitter with everything except honesty. Two lives moving in opposite lanes, yet both carry the same question beating louder each day. Will they ever find each other again? Conflict brews not only between them and society, but also within their own souls. Sophie fears discovery, for exposure could ruin her completely, while Benedict fears surrender, for obedience to the ton would kill the only love he has ever truly wanted. The ballroom that once felt like freedom now becomes a cage, its chandeliers more prison bars than stars. Every step Sophie takes under her stepmother's watch, every smile Benedict is forced to give to someone he does not love, builds the weight of tension that neither can silence. The world has set its traps, and the question that lingers is simple, but merciless. How long can love breathe under chains of duty and secrets? Storm clouds gather over the glittering season. The ton prepares for another grand ball, but beneath the music and jewels, a war of hearts is ready to ignite. Benedict steps into the crowd with his jaw set and eyes searching, no longer a man content, To drift between art and duty, but a man driven by love he cannot silence. He knows whispers will rise and reputations will tremble, yet he is ready to trade every ounce of comfort for the truth of one woman's presence. Sophie, hidden among servants in the same hall, feels the weight of the night pressing harder than chains. The ballroom shines with gold, yet for her it feels like a stage built to expose her every secret. She clutches the memory of her dance with Benedict like a shield, yet fear creeps closer with every glance from her stepmother. The cruel voice of her past reminds her that she is nothing more than a shadow, unworthy of light, but her heart refuses to bow. For the first time she dares to imagine a life beyond silence, a life where love is not a crime. As violins rise, the two worlds collide once more. Benedict's eyes find her across the room, no mask, no gown of splendor, only the truth of who she is. The shock in his breath is not disappointment but awe, for he sees not rags but resilience, not shame but courage. He takes a step forward, each stride a rebellion against every chain society has forged around him. Sophie steps back, torn between longing and terror, knowing that discovery could destroy them both. The crowd sways with laughter and gossip, yet for them the room is narrowed into a battlefield where every choice carries the weight of forever. Then the carriage wheels rattle outside, a reminder that Sophie's stepmother will not let this night pass without punishment. A hand grips Sophie's arm, harsh and unrelenting, pulling her toward the door. Benedict's voice cuts through the music like thunder, calling out with a desperation that silences the hall. Faces turn, fans freeze, and Lady Whistledown's quill seems to hover in the air, ready to ink the scandal of the century. The choice hangs between them: surrender to fear or fight for love. The music swells into its highest note, lights flare across polished floors, and the world seems to hold its breath. Benedict reaches, Sophie hesitates. The distance between their hands becomes the measure of destiny. The crowd watches, divided between judgment and awe, but the moment belongs to them alone. As the screen fades to black, a single question echoes, like a promise. Will love be enough to break the chains of society? On screen, the Bridgerton crest appears with firelit gold. The words rise clear and bold. Bridgerton Season 4, the most daring love story yet, coming 2026 only on Netflix. The trailer closes on silence heavy with promise, leaving the audience hungry for answers and ready for scandal. The season does not revolve around Benedict and Sophie alone, for the Bridgertons are a family bound by love yet tested by society's endless watch. Violet Bridgerton sits quietly in her drawing room, her wisdom sharper than any gossip, watching her son carry the weight of desire that threatens to clash with duty. She remembers the fire of her own youth, yet she also knows how merciless the tongue can be when scandal strikes. Her gentle warnings carry the force of truth, and though she wishes for her children to follow their hearts, she fears the world will not grant them mercy. Anthony and Kate stand as anchors in this storm, their marriage strong and passionate, yet even they face the constant hum of expectation. Every smile they share in public is weighed and judged, every decision measured against their status as Viscount and Viscountess. Still, Anthony sees his brother's struggle and recalls the same fight he once had with his own heart. He becomes Benedict's quiet ally, reminding him that love is worth the fire even when society's chains try to suffocate it. Kate, fierce and loyal, echoes this belief, her presence a steady flame in the family story. Eloise, ever the sharp tongue of the Bridgertons, adds another layer of tension. Her friendship with outsiders of the ton, and her refusal to bow to tradition make her both admired and criticized. She sees Sophie not as a scandal, but as a mirror of her own rebellion against rigid rules. Her wit slices through pretense, offering both comfort and challenge to Benedict, and hinting that she may one day play a larger role in uncovering truths hidden beneath masks. Meanwhile, Lady Whistledown sharpens her words with merciless precision. She is not blind to the rising storm between Benedict and Sophie, nor to the way it threatens to upend the season. Each paper she pens spreads faster than fire, stoking curiosity and suspicion. Every family in the tone reads her words with equal, parts fear and fascination, for in her voice lies both power and punishment. To be named by her is to be immortalized in scandal, and her quill now hovers dangerously close to Sophie's secret. Around them, the tun itself moves like a living beast, filled with glittering gowns, sly glances, and whispers that grow louder with every passing day. Marriages are bargained in corners, reputations are broken in whispers, and every ballroom becomes both battlefield and stage. The Bridgertons find themselves once again at the heart of it all, caught between love and legacy, passion and power. In this world of polished masks and ruthless rules, one truth remains constant. No secret can stay hidden, and no love can remain untouched by the eyes of society. The season reaches its boiling point as tension spreads across every ballroom. In Street of London, the whispers about Benedict's mysterious partner no longer fade into the background. They roar with each passing day, building into a storm that neither he nor Sophie can escape. Families exchange knowing looks. Noble daughters are paraded before him with smiles as sharp as daggers, yet Benedict's heart refuses to bend. His paintings grow bolder, filled with shadows and light that mirror his longing, and his refusal to follow the path laid out for him becomes clear to all. Sophie lives the same days in torment, but with chains heavier than his. Every kindness she once hoped for is stripped away by her stepmother's cruelty. Servants speak in hushed voices of punishments too harsh, of bruises hidden beneath sleeves, of a young woman trapped between duty and despair. And yet Sophie holds herself with quiet strength, refusing to let the memory of one dance vanish. Her courage is not loud, it is steady, and it shines brighter than the jewels she will never be allowed to wear. The tun, always hungry for scandal, prepares itself for a grand revelation. Lady Whistledown's latest paper hints at truths close. To discovery, her words carefully sharpened to wound. Guests read with wide eyes, speculating if Benedict has finally risked his family name for love. What none of them see is the depth of his determination, the resolve that has turned him from dreamer into fighter. The artist who once painted in shadows is now ready to step into the fire. The storm breaks at a glittering midnight gathering. The chandeliers blaze with golden light, violins scream with urgency, and the crowd waits for another night of spectacle. But for Benedict, this night is no performance. It is battle. Across the room he sees Sophie, no mask, no veil, only truth. Fear presses against her shoulders as her stepmother keeps her close, her arm held with iron grip. Yet Benedict's gaze holds her steady. He moves forward, cutting through the crowd, each step a defiance against the weight of tradition. The music fades as silence grips the hall. All eyes turn, breaths held, fans frozen. The tun is ready for ruin, for gossip, for the scandal of the year. Sophie trembles, torn between the chains of her past and the call of freedom she has never tasted. And then it happens. Benedict reaches out with a hand that does not care for status, does not care for rules. His voice breaks through the silence, not with command, but with promise. A choice lies between them, the choice to step into the light together or to let fear take the final word. The air is heavy with suspense as the camera holds on their hands, the world waiting to see if love can break through centuries of chains. The moment burns into memory, the kind of moment that decides destiny. The season has built to this. Every whisper, every rumor, every stolen glance, and now the storm delivers its strike. The story does not promise ease, but it promises fire. And the fire is alive. The season that began with glittering lights and hidden masks now closes with fire in every heart. The storm has tested them, the whispers have hunted them, and every chain of duty has pulled them toward surrender. Yet Benedict and Sophie stand at the edge of choice. The crowd leans forward, waiting for the fall, but what they see instead is defiance. Not the reckless defiance of scandal for its own sake, but the pure defiance of love refusing to be silenced. The Bridgertons gather, their unity unshaken, each sibling carrying their own battles yet standing as a family against a world that would divide them. Violet's wisdom, Anthony's strength, Kate's loyalty, Eloise's wit, Colin and Penelope's love, all weave into the fabric of a legacy that cannot be broken. This family is more than its titles. It is more than its name. It is a beacon in a society that would rather cage than set free. And now it is Benedict's turn to step forward, to carry not only his art, but his heart into the open. The tongue will whisper, Lady Whistledown will write, enemies will plot, and friends will question. Yet none of it matters in the face of truth. Sophie's hand in his becomes more than romance, it becomes a declaration. A servant's daughter, an illegitimate child, a girl denied by fortune. She is no longer hidden. She is chosen, not because of duty, not because of convenience, but because love has made her priceless. And for Benedict Bridgerton, no rule, no name, and no fortune can outweigh that truth. The music builds one last time, violins rushing like wind before the storm breaks into light. Carriage wheels roll, doors slam, gowns shimmer in the candle glow. But the heart of the story beats steady. Love will always be the most dangerous, the most scandalous, and the most unforgettable choice. On screen, the title burns in gold, Bridgerton Season 4. A voice closes with finality, steady and strong. The most daring love story has arrived. Coming 2026 only on Netflix.